Hey, what's up guys? This is Chris from Paramount Retirement Solutions. Today I just wanted to make a quick video about Plan F. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there about really what's going on. A lot of you guys that are watching this either have Plan F now and aren't sure what to do, or you're thinking about getting Plan F. So I know there's a lot of telemarketers, a lot of people advertising on different platforms like even YouTube, Facebook, and even some things you're going to see on TV where there's going to be a lot of deceptive ads about really what's happening with Plan F, or even if they're not deceptive, they're not really going to give you the full story. So in this video, I'm just going to start off with a quick recap about what Medigap Plan F is. Then we're going to go into truly what the bad news is, then what the good news is, and I'm going to give you the full picture of really what's happening. Also going to talk about why Plan F rates are going to be extremely overpriced soon, and then last we're going to talk about what you can do about it. So let's just start with what Plan F is. You can see in the chart that Plan F is what's known as a Medicare supplement plan. It's also called a Medigap plan. Now this plan works with Medicare Part A and B to fill the gaps of where Medicare Part A and B leave off. If you look at the chart, the way to read it top to bottom, as long as there's 100% in the box for a particular benefit, Medigap Plan F, no matter what insurance company offers it, will cover 100% of where Medicare leaves off. So as long as you see a healthcare provider that takes Medicare, Medicare pays its part, then your Medigap plan pays the rest for you. Okay. So now the bad news. What is really happening with Plan F? Well, in 2020, Plan F is going to be discontinued. There was an act passed by Congress called this Medicare Access and Chip Reauthorization Act. Doesn't matter if you know what it's called. Sometimes it's abbreviated MACRA. But basically, Congress passed this law that said any first dollar coverage Medigap plan is going to be going away. Again, if we go back to the chart, we can see the only plans that cover this, what's known as first dollar coverage, are Plan F and Plan C. So why was this act passed? What are they trying to do? Well, first of all, every so often, Medicare does eliminate plans. Back in 2010, I believe 4 plans were eliminated. And for example, Plan J was one of the most popular plans back then. And it was eliminated. But that didn't mean they took your coverage away. That just means that nobody new to Medicare after that time could get it. And basically the same thing is happening. So if we look and see that, why did they take this coverage away? Well, if you have a plan where if you go see the doctor, have an office visit, have a test done, whatever the situation, and you don't have to pay anything for it, your plan pays right from the beginning, and you have no expenses, you're much more likely to use the plan compared to a plan you can see like Plan G that doesn't cover that, what here is the Part B deductible. It doesn't cover that deductible. It's not a first dollar plan, meaning you have to pay the deductible before your insurance will then step in and start covering their part. So you're much less likely to use your health care, you're much less likely to have expenses and to file claims if you have a plan where you're going to pay to start rather than your plan pay to start. And as I mentioned a minute ago, you can see there's the good news. Even though your plan's going to be discontinued, your plan is what's known as guaranteed renewable. You can keep it the rest of your life. So anybody that's actually, that already has Part B, effective before 2020, whether you have Medicare now, whether you get Medicare right before 2020, you still can get Plan F. And even beyond that, even in 2025, for example, as long as your Medicare Part B effective date is before 2020, you can still get Plan F. So some of the deceptive advertising that's going on, you can see here that one of my clients sent me this Facebook ad. And if we take a look at it, it just mentions, as a special offer, we're giving access to our birthday plans only for a limited time. Well, they're going to take your business anytime you want to sign up with them, so that's fine. Also, did you know that the Medicare supplement policies will no longer cover the deductible for doctor's visits? Well, that's kind of what I mean by these first dollar coverage plans, how Plan C and Plan F are both going to be discontinued in 2020. If you purchase a plan now, you're going to be grandfathered in and you will keep these benefits. Well, I guess that's true, but if you sign up anytime before now in 2020, and even anybody that gets Medicare Part B anytime before 2020 can not only get the plans now, but in a couple years and even in 5 or 10 years. So, apply now and never have to worry about medical bills again. So this ad really isn't deceptive, but it definitely isn't telling the full story, and it kind of makes you, maybe a little bit fearful that I can only do this now or I'm going to miss out. So, okay, we've seen the bad news, we've seen the good news, but you know what? Plan F premiums are going to continue to go up faster than other plans. Even though you can keep your plan, you're not going to want to if you don't have to. The reason for that is Medigap plans base their premiums, base their rates on how many claims they file. There's a group of people with each insurance company that have certain plans, like Plan N, Plan F, and so forth. They look at a pool of those people together that have a certain letter plan, and they look at how many claims are filed. So when there's a lot of people that have a bad health year with a certain plan, that what's known as a pool of people that have that plan are going to see a big increase compared to another company where a lot of those folks aren't having a lot of claims. Okay, so a good way to look at it and to understand it is by this graphic. And here we've got, 4 swimming pools. Pools A, B, C, and D, and it, kind of represents a pool of people, if you will. So the inner tubes, the green inner tubes are people in good health. The yellow inner tubes are folks in kind of medium health, have some issues. The red inner tubes are folks that just are not in good health and really can't switch plans. So right now, a pool of Plan F folks is represented by Pool A. Most of the people in the plan are going to be healthier, especially as they're taking newer 65-year-old folks to Medicare, can get that plan, no questions asked. Most of the people in that plan are going to have pretty good health. As time goes on, once 2020 hits, if we look at Pool B, we can see now the pool's about the same size, about the same amount of people in the pool, but now your average health has started to get a little bit worse. Pool C, we can see as the years go on, there's less and less green inner tubes. So that just means that anybody in good health is going to start to see an increase along with everybody because they base the rates on the average health of the people in the pool and the average amount of claims that are filed. So whenever you switch a Medigap plan, they ask some basic health questions. Folks that are healthy are going to have a lot easier time switching to a different insurance company to get the same plan like a Plan F or even something else different like Plan G. But now the people that are represented by the yellow and the red inner tubes are going to be kind of stuck. And now we can see with Pool D, it is the smallest pool. There's the fewest amount of people that are left. Pretty much all the healthy people have switched. The only people that are left are either ones that are too unhealthy to switch plans or just have decided to stay. The average health of the person in that pool has really started to deteriorate, and because of that, the average amount of claims that are filed with the people in that plan have really started to rise, and then the rates because of that have really started to skyrocket. That's actually not the only problem with Plan F. Even today, there's a couple other big problems with Plan F. First of all, it's a guaranteed issue plan. What that means real quick is there's certain events that happen when you're on Medicare that allow you to get certain Medigap plans with no health questions. I mentioned a minute ago, if you're looking to switch plans or get in a Medigap plan once you've been on Medicare Part B for more than 6 months, you've got to qualify. You've got to answer health questions. Well, Plan F is one of those plans where when certain of these situations happen, you can get Plan F, no questions asked. Where if you wanted to get a plan like G or Plan N, you'd have to answer health questions and can be turned down if you have certain issues. You have certain chronic conditions that you're managing. So because of that, again, worse average health of the person that has Plan F, more claims are filed, more expensive premiums. And just like we mentioned before, Plan F is a first dollar plan, first dollar coverage. Even today, because people are more likely to see the doctor a lot faster with Plan F compared to a plan where they'd have to pay to start with, they file more claims. The average claims of that plan goes up and is higher than other plans where there's not the first dollar coverage, and again, rates are just way higher than they are with other plans. So not only today, but especially moving on down the road, it's just going to get worse and worse. Some of your alternatives to Plan F, I've mentioned them already, are Plan G and Plan N. Here we can see in the chart again how some of those plans are different. The only difference between Plan G and Plan F is that Part B deductible. So this year it's $183. Once you'd meet the $183 for any Part B expenses this year, Plan G would work identical to Plan F. Plan N's a little bit different than G. It has that deductible to pay. It also has co-pays for some office visits and if you went to the emergency room, as well as potential what are known as excess charges that are charged by doctors that actually accept Medicare, but they don't accept Medicare's approved amount for certain tests and treatments and so forth. But if you look at the savings between switching from Plan F to these other plans, the savings can be between $20 and $100 or even sometimes more every month. Now, granted, you do have some out-of-pocket to pay, but if you're saving $1,000 a year or more in monthly premiums and then maybe have to pay up to a couple $100 in out-of-pocket expenses, you're doing significantly better and saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year in overall healthcare expenses. So now anytime you're going to look at leaving Plan F to go either to a different company's Plan F or switching to a different letter like G or Plan N, you're going to need to answer some basic health questions. Now, each insurance company asks different health questions. So if you have a certain health condition, that might cause company A, for example, to decline you and not accept your business, but company B will accept that health condition. Every insurance company is a little bit different. They all charge different rates. So instead of calling several different companies one at a time and applying with more than one and maybe getting turned down several times until you found that cheapest plan you can get, the one with the lowest premium for your health conditions, you're going to be better off just going with an independent agent that can shop several of these companies because they represent the different companies. They know the sweet spots for the different health conditions. And, you know, as you could probably gather by now, I'm an independent health insurance agent. I can help you shop with many of these companies, get an idea of what you're doctoring for, and find you the absolute best price that you can get switching off Plan F to one of these other plans. And just kind of a quick note, I don't charge a fee for what I do. There's no extra charges by working with somebody like me. You get the very same costs for a certain plan by signing up with an agent than you do by going direct to the company. But basically what I'm doing is I'm doing all the legwork for you, finding you the best plan with the best rate to save you the most amount of money. And not only to do that when you're first looking to switch, but for my clients, I offer that service and I'm able to help them sometimes several times down the road to switch every few years to keep your rates as low as possible. So I really hope you guys have found this video helpful. I really hope it's helped clear the air on really what's happening with Plan F. You guys aren't fearful anymore about possibly losing your coverage in a few years. You know, as long as you keep paying your premiums, your plan is guaranteed renewable. You can keep it the rest of your life, but you're going to really want to get off Plan F and switch to something that's going to be a lot more cost efficient really as soon as you can. You're going to be a lot better off, save hundreds of dollars a year. My phone number is at the bottom of the screen. I've also put my email address at the bottom of the screen here too. Love to be able to help you guys out, answer any questions you have, and I really hope to hear from you soon. Take care, everybody.